When I woke up that morning, I never imagined that day would be any different, or that it would change everything. It was just another day, 3 days after the death of Jesus, yet still, it just felt like a bad dream. We thought that Jesus came here to save us, just as God had promised. We thought that he would be our next king, and under his rule, everything would be different. But he was so much more than a prospective king. He'd already changed everything. He changed me. You see, before, I was a different person. But Jesus, through his power, he cast the demons out of me. Before, I felt chained and enslaved to a life that I couldn't control. But Jesus, he freed me. I had followed many men in my day, looking for love in all of the wrong places. But I realized at that moment that there was no one I would rather follow for the rest of my life than that man. Because when those demons left me, a love that I cannot express filled that void in me. And for the first time in my life, I felt complete. But then they killed him. Brutally. I was just a short distance away from that cross when he took his last breath. And with that final breath, my entire world came crashing down. I still wasn't right that morning I went to the tomb. How could I be? I was so angry with God. Why would he take away the one good thing he had given us? When I got to the tomb, it was still dark. But I could see that the stone had been rolled away. The breath caught in my chest, and all of the worst-case scenarios started to run through my mind. Those people had already taken him, beaten him, killed him, and shamed him, yet that wasn't enough. They had to take his body too. The questions, they were agonizing. A short time later, I found myself alone again. The other disciples, they had come and gone, but I just couldn't bear to leave. But then from the tomb came this bright light, and inside the tomb sat two angelic beings. I said to them, "They have taken my Lord. Do you know where they have put him?" Then I turned, and there stood a man. He said to me, "Woman, why are you crying?" He was just a gardener, but I asked him anyways, "Have you taken him?" Then he said my name. My heart had skipped a beat, and everything from the last week just disappeared. It was the tone in that voice. I knew that voice. "Teacher," I called, and I ran to him, but he said that I couldn't hold on to him because he still had to go to the Father. But oh, how I wanted to hold on to him, just to know that everything was going to be all right. But instead, I held on to that moment, that beautiful moment. I saw the Lord. I saw the Lord. Here I thought he'd forgotten about us, but he didn't forget. All along, he had a plan. God had a plan to send his son to earth to die on a cross for a sinner like me.